Transit, what's up? How y'all doing? There we go, awesome. Hey, well, my name's Jesse, if we've never met before, and I have the pleasure of serving on the team here at North Point Transit, working with our high school small group leaders. So guys, I think our high school leaders are like some of the best people in transit. Obviously, I love all of our small group leaders, but like, y'all, the high school leaders, the time that y'all give in your students, I love it. It's awesome. So I would love to tell them thank you, but we're going to have a little bit of fun with it. I would love to say thank you so loud that Andy Stanley is giving him a sermon right now, and he's like, whoa, what was that noise? Like, that was so loud. Like, I want to distract him from what he's doing in there. Are we good doing that? Like, can we get that loud? Perfect, awesome. All right, so I'm going to count down from 3, and I need y'all to, like, bust my eardrums. You yell so loud. You ready? And say thank you to your high school leaders. 3, 2, 1. Thank you! Woo! There we go. Awesome. Great stuff, guys. Well, I'm super, super excited to get us started in our new series, Flip the Script. And in this series, we're going to be talking about how everyone, including middle schoolers like you, goes through challenges and experiences challenges in life. And I would love to start with a story of when I was in middle school. I actually brought a picture with me of when I was in middle school. Look at that, guys. Great, great stuff. Yeah. Is Gerald Kreider still popular? Does anybody know? It was really, really popular when I was in middle school. And I was rocking the khaki shorts, y'all. It was great stuff. But in middle school, I had a good amount of friends. I didn't really have a lot of really, really close friends, though. One of the friends that I did have, his name is Grayson, and I met him because he was my mom's coworker's son. So we met through that, and I did things like robotics with him. Do I have any robotics people in here? There we go. Yeah, that's awesome. Let's go. So I did robotics with him, and I had a few classes with him, but I didn't really see him a ton. However, when I did see him, every single time, without fail, he was asking me to go to transit. And he asked me enough to where I ended up going a few times, and I wish that I went more looking back, because, I mean, like, look at this. This is awesome. But I was attending another church at that time, so most of the time, I would just try and push him off and be like, dude, like, I'm good. Like, I'm all good. And so he always asked me to go to transit. Well, I didn't see him a lot because we ended up going to different high schools. So we're going to fast forward to high school. We got a picture of me in high school. And we got a puppy now. That's great. Yeah, awesome. So that's me in high school. So imagine like high school Jesse, he's walking around at a football game, and he runs back into Grayson. And the first thing Grayson does is ask me back to his church again, at Brownsbridge Church. This time it's the thing called Dive, which is a junior and senior Bible study that they have over there at Brownsbridge Inside Out. So he asked me enough times where I'm like, again, you know what, I'll try it out just so you stop asking me. But I go, and I'm so glad that I went, because I ended up meeting some of the best friends that I ever had in high school. And we've got a picture of them right here. So I hung out with these people all the time. And also, fun fact, she's my wife now, which is really cool. That was fun. I got married a few months ago, so that was really sweet. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, that's really sweet. But yeah, we would hang out all the time. We would play games at each other's houses. We would go get ice cream after dive. There was even this one time that we did a Wii Sports Olympics. Does anybody know what the Wii is? Please say yes. That's going to make me feel old. Awesome. Perfect. There we go. So there was this game called Wii Sports. I think a lot of y'all know what it is based on that reaction. And there was things like baseball and bowling and tennis, and we would play each of these events against each other. And if you won, then we had these like mini trophies and like label printed like the name of the event on it. It had like miniature like trophy ceremonies. It was so fun. So we did stuff like that. For my high school leaders who were like seniors and some adults, we went to Passion Conference together, which was super fun. So we did a lot of stuff together. So I loved hanging out with this group of people. Unfortunately though, pretty soon after we all started hanging out, like within a few months, COVID-19 hit. And we all kind of know how that went, but with it being my senior year of high school, it was really, really unfortunate timing because I feel like I just got this freedom to meet incredible people like them, get to hang out with them. I had the freedom to drive around and hang out with them more often. And you also had the combination of us going into college or future careers. And so the group kind of just fizzled out really shortly after we all met. And I got so mad at God because it's like, why would you give me such an amazing group of people, and it gets taken away that quickly? And I know I'm not the only one who's gone through something like that before. Like, we've all had something that we've hoped for, like me having a close group of friends like that, and it just feels like it wasn't meant to be. Maybe it was we didn't make the team that we wanted to make. Maybe it was that we get injured in a sport right before the season starts. Maybe we get put in a different middle school than all of our best friends from elementary school. Or maybe we didn't get put into that advanced level class that we were really hoping to get into. Maybe your best friend moves halfway across the country and you rarely see them anymore. Or maybe even you lose someone that you love. We've all been through something where we wonder what God is doing or if he's even there anymore. And luckily, we're not the first people to go through this. This has been happening to people for a long time. And some people that also went through something like this is a group of people called the Israelites. And we hear about them in the book of Joshua, which is in the Bible, and we hear about them also in some other books in the Old Testament too. But specifically, we're going to look at their story in the book of Joshua. And just to give you all some context of where the Israelites are at so we can sit in their shoes, they got enslaved by the Egyptians for a really, really long time. So like a lot of unfortunate things happened that led to that. But God gave them this leader, Moses, to help them out of Egypt. And after they get out of Egypt, they make some not so great decisions that end up leading to them wandering in the wilderness for 40 years. And just to give you all an idea of how long 40 years is, imagine like you start school and you go all the way through and become a doctor. That's 20 years. Imagine doing that twice. Like that is a long time to just be wandering around in the wilderness and in the desert. So they're doing that, and then out of nowhere, their leader Moses dies. Like he was getting old, and he just out of nowhere he dies. So they're wandering around the wilderness. They've been enslaved for a really long time before that, and now that they've lost their leader, they're like, God, like where in the world are you? Like I can't believe you would put us in a situation like this. Like we have no idea what to do. We have nothing around us, like no direction. Well, luckily, God gives them a new leader called Joshua. And Joshua is tasked with bringing the Israelites to this land that God has promised them called Jerusalem. And we're going to throw it up on the map here. So Jerusalem is right here, and the Israelites are about in this area right now as the story of Joshua is unfolding. So they're on their way to Jerusalem, and they run into the city, this little dot right here called Jericho. And I know on a map, it's like, that's a tiny dot. It can't be that important compared to Jerusalem. Like, no big deal. We just like walk through Jerusalem, or walk through Jericho to get through to Jerusalem. But they get to Jericho, and it's this giant fortified city with these huge walls around it. And so I'm sure like they get there and they're like, that was kind of like unexpected. Like, I have no idea how we're going to get around this. It's really intimidating. Like, what in the world are we going to do with this? So Joshua decides, let's send like 2 of our spies to go and check this out. So he sends 2 spies to go kind of scope out the land, feel out the city a little bit. So they sneak into Jericho. And whenever they get in, they go into this random house. And this house is, it has a lady named Rahab that she lives there. And so they hide in this house. And for some reason, Rahab helps them. We don't really have enough reason to really know exactly why she helped them in this moment to hide. But she helps them hide. And the king of Jericho figures out that Rahab is hiding these 2 Israelite spies. So the king of Jericho is like, okay, Rahab, we know that the Israelite army is coming, and they've sent these spies to kind of scope us out. So I kind of need you to like turn them over because that could cause a lot of trouble. And Rahab is like, nah, I'm good, and I'm going to keep on hiding them. And I'm like, I don't know about y'all. I could never do that. Like if I had 2 random people like walk into my house, just like randomly walk in, and then the king is like, hey, like I'm going to get you in a lot of trouble if you don't like hand these people over. I'd be like, y'all get out of here. Like I don't want any business with this. But for some reason, she helps them. And luckily, Joshua 2 helps us understand why she helps them. It says, before the spies lay down for the night, so they're about to go to bed, she went up on the roof and said to them, I know that the Lord has given you this land, and a great fear of you has fallen on us, so that all who live in this country are melting in fear because of you. So Rahab knows that God is doing something, and she knows that God is doing something pretty big, and the people of Jericho know that something funky is happening. And it continues to say, for the Lord your God is God in heaven above and on the earth below. So Rahab says this. So we can see that Rahab knows God is doing something, and she recognizes who God is and is really intimidated by it. And that's why she helps the Israelite spies. So let's go back a second. The Israelites are going through all this trouble. They're enslaved. They're walking in the wilderness. They lose their leader. All hope is lost, it seems. And then they walk into some giant fortified city that seems like they're not going to be able to get through it. And some random lady comes out of nowhere and helps them hide. So I think the main thing that we can get out of this story is God shows up in unexpected ways. Like, why in the world would God use a random lady like Rahab? I think this is probably one of the most unsatisfying things that I could say to someone, but like, I think if we let it sink in, it could lead to so much peace. God sometimes will not give us what we want in the times, or what we hope for in the timing that we would hope he would give us what we're hoping for. And then there are times where he doesn't even get us what we hope for in the first place. But what we can know is God will show up in the end. In other words, God gives us what we would ask for if we could see everything he sees and know everything that he knows. We don't know why God used Rahab to help the Israelites, but he did use her. And guess what? The Israelites made it all the way to Jerusalem because of Rahab. They go through enslavement, they go through the wilderness, they lose a leader, this random lady shows up, they're able to go into the city of Jericho and destroy it eventually to get all the way to Jerusalem because of Rahab. So I would love to go back and share with you all a little bit more about that story that I was telling about my friend group in high school. I go into college, and I was really struggling. I had a lot of anxiety, and I was really stressed out with things going into college and not getting to see friends as much as I had hoped. And I had heard about this thing called the living room, which is like transit, but for college students. So I decided to go and check it out, and I ended up meeting some incredible people and ended up becoming great friends with a lot of the people there. And on top of that, I go to college, and Grayson, the guy that I mentioned from middle school and high school, he shows up again. I hadn't really talked with him in a really long time, but we run into each other. He's like, hey, dude, I think I've got some guys that you would want to meet. So I go and meet up with them, and we all get super close, and we end up living together in college for over 2 years, and I'm still super close with all those guys too. So I brought a picture with y'all. This is me and my wife at our wedding recently, and this is all people from either the living room, like the transit thing that I mentioned, or college, or roommates. And I love that I get to do life with these people, and I'm so blessed that I have them in my life. And I say that because at one point, I feel like I had lost all hope. I didn't think God was ever going to show up again. I thought that moment that I had in high school with those friends was my shot, and that it was gone. Like I was never going to have close friends to get to really do life with ever again. But God decided to bring old friends back into my life, and he even gave me some new ones. And I may not know what y'all are going through right now, but I can tell you this. God does show up in unexpected ways. Like, I never, ever would have expected that God would have brought some of the friends back that he did, or give me the new ones that he did either. I would love to pray for y'all really quick. God, thank you so much that you show up in unexpected ways. God, we know that it's really, really hard to go through life, and we just pray that you give us the hope that you will show up in the end for us, and trust that that will happen. And we know it's really, really hard, but God, you've shown us through the story of the Israelites that you will do it. And God, we're so thankful for that. We love you, and it's in your name we pray. Amen. Awesome. All right, before y'all head to small group, I would love for y'all to think over this question. What's something that happened to you this morning that did not go as planned? Y'all get out of here. Head to small group.